Good morning, everyone. We are the reporter in the topic Lesson Design and Strategies in Teaching Writing. So I am Isa Marie Armada and I am the first reporter. Teaching writing requires carefully planning. So if you are going to teach, it is really important for us as a teacher to plan first whatever we will going to teach to our student. And according to Kroll, as cited in Weigel of 2014, list the essential tasks of a writing teacher. These are designing or implementing a syllabus, planning the individual class session, providing opportunities for writing, and responding to that writing. So as a teacher in college, they are using the syllabus or it is the curriculum and that listed the topics to be taught and learned for the specific period or program. Yung topics na yon is yun yung magiging guide nila kung anong ituturo nila in a whole semester or in a whole year. But if you will going to teach in elementary to high school, the one of the writing na ginagamit nila is ang lesson plan, which is it is the written outline that the teacher aims to teach and the outcomes that the teacher want to achieve. So this is the designing the writing syllabus. We need to consider the following factors. So this factor is the one that we need to consider. The first one is feasible scope of the writing task. This requires us to think through the writing task by looking at the needs of our learners and their background. So as a teacher, we must really need to know the capabilities of our student, kung kaya ba nila yon or hindi, because they are the one that the center of our teaching. So it is really important na malaman natin if they can manage to learn such topics that we were going to talk. And the second one is a writing task that promote academic integrity. In this age of copy and paste, we need to prepare writing prompts or assignments that the student from plagiarizing written outputs. In most cases, we do this by making the consequences clear to them and equipping them with paraphrasing and summarizing skills. So we are part of this, diba? First year to second year, we are an online class student. So even aminin natin or hindi, there are times that we are copy and pasting our answer in the activities that given by our teacher. But with this is it want us to know how to paraphrasing. It is okay if we were going to have a preferences or a references in a Google or in any website that we will going to see, or for example a books, but we must remember on how to paraphrase and to summarize para yung skills natin is madadevelop din siya. And then the third one is the suitable scaffold for the given task. According to Welfong of 2015, that the teacher should not assign writing with a previous work on the genre. The student write without exposing them to readings from the genre, nor have writing be isolated an individual activity in your classroom. So in this scaffolding, if we talk about the scaffolding, it is a method where the teacher offer a kind of support to the student as they learn and develop new concept or skills. So if we were going to write a syllabus, it is really important to know first if we must consider first that our student know whatever kung anong ibibigay natin sa kanilang mga activities. And then the fourth one is a specified topic, genre, and purpose. We may negotiate the topic with our learners, but to avoid frustration upon checking their outputs, we need to be clear in the genre and purpose that we want our student to write about. So if you were going to give an activity to your student, it is really important na nagkasundo kayo on a certain topic, right? You can ask also an opinion to your student if they want that topic. But also, you must specify first the topic, the genre that they will going to use, and also the purpose why you will going to give them such assignment or an activities, right? And a clear rubric of evaluation. A well-defined rubric guides the learners in accomplishing the writing task. As a teacher, it is really important to give our teacher the rubric. Kasi yun yung magiging guide natin on how we will going to check the outputs or the assessment that we will going to give to our students. Doon natin mai-evaluate if okay ba yung ginawang assessment or ginawang activity ng ating estudyante. Doon natin i-base what grade should we give them based on their performance and based on the rubric that we will going to evaluate. And the last one is a reasonable set of deadlines. We need to give them a feasible scope. We also have to set a realistic deadline. We can set deadlines in stages to provide immediate feedback on their outputs and avoid severe errors in context and organization. So if we were going to give our student an activity, it is really important to set a deadline na kung saan is it is convenient to both side, the student and then the teacher. Convenient for the student na magawa nila ng maayos yung certain activity na binigay mo, na sa teacher na magkakaroon ka pa ng time to check the outputs of your student para hindi ka na mararattle kung anong gagawin mong checking doon, because you have the enough time to check all of their activities, all of their assessment that they make. Designing the lesson for writing. So the first one is writing instruction for beginners. So in teaching L2, writing for beginners requires understanding the context of the learners. For instance, we need to know if they already have the skills set like producing the linguistic codes, writing convention, and writing mechanics. So if we were going to teach writing for beginners, diba? Mga ano pa yan sila, mga starting stages of learning. So we must consider first their skills, yung mga kung ano pa yung knowledge nila regarding sa ganyang topic. So we can just taught beginners ng para sa mga intermediate, right? Kasi magkakaiba yan sila ng level of learning. So we must consider that first. And then this is the following characteristic of an effective elementary literacy classroom. So the first one is engaging activities. Writing as a skill can develop through constant and correct practice, and we might also agree that learning happens best when more sentences are involved. So in elementary literacy classroom, so mga elementary student na ang tinuturoan natin dito. So sabi nga dito is magbibigay tayo ng mga activities to our student para magkakaroon sila ng any interaction with their classmates. Is pagkatapos natin sila mapagawa ng mga activities, is we can post it in the blackboard, in a wall, and then yung mga iba niyang classmates is they will going to react or give an opinion kung para saan, kung ano ba yung output niya all about. So in that way, nagkakaroon ng engagement doon sa activities mo, engagement between the students and also engagement between the teacher and then the students. And then the second one is developmental instruction. It may be tempting to teach writing at an early stage using the product approach because it is easier to check and time efficient. So according to the experts like Thompson of 28, Presley of 27, and then Welfong of 2015, is gina-recommend talaga nila to use the process approach, which is it is a method of thinking, applying to understand and plan the sequence and interaction of process in the system. So masyadong strong yung agree nila dito sa process approach na ito, kasi ito daw ay pinaka-easiest kapag gagamitin natin ito in teaching writing. Right? So, and then sabi din nila, if we were going to use the draft, revise, final output, is mas less ang effectivity nito if we were going to use it in teaching writing compared to plan, draft, revise, rewrite, process of writing. The third one is the conductive environment. Experts consider it a serious offense to require learners to write on topics without proper context. So if we were going to give our student a certain topic, it is really important na nasa context din yung ibibigay nating topic. Right? It is really important talaga. So if you want to have such conductive environment, we can use we can provide a plenty of varied reading materials, and also pwede din tayo na magpagawa sa ating mga student ng mga greetings or dedication sa isang corner where student can write messages for each other. So nagkakaroon talaga ng yung context natin as in nandoon pa rin. Right? So, this is the balancing writing as a process and a product according to Tomskin in 2018. At 28, the following summarized strategies for teaching writing in elementary years. So, you will going to zoom this para alam nyo yung mga writing processes in teaching writing in elementary years. Okay? So, the next one is writing instruction for intermediate and advanced learning. So, writing teachers of intermediate and advanced learners must help students understand the relevance of writing, not only in fluency in target language. So, dito naman is mga intermediate and advanced learners na yung mga tinuturoan natin, right? We must help our student to understand the relevance or yung kahalagahan ng pagsusulat. What is the advantage if we were going to know on how to write properly? Hindi lang sa magsusulat ka ng ganyan, magsusulat ka ng ganito. But there is really the right way on how to write, 'di ba? We know naman that the writing is both a social act and a developmental cognitive task. So the teacher can raise the student awareness of the different writing tasks they can have to handle in the academic setting. So the first one is, so we will go into the instructional tips. The first one is reading-writing connection. We encourage our learners to write effectively by providing model text to read and reading materials that they can analyze, react, or reflect. So with this is, pwede tayo magbigay ng mga pictures, right? And then, we will going to give them an activity to reflect what they've learned, what is their first impression, what is how they were going to react, how they analyze that certain picture, and they were going to write some reflection, some essay, how they analyze such pictures, okay? And then the second one is strategy instruction. Teaching students strategies in each stage of writing process would allow learners to reflect on the writing habits as writers to employ the process involved in writing independently. In strategy instructions is it will going to allow our learners to reflect doon sa sinusulat nila, na kung saan is nagiging independent sila on writing on their own words. They will not going to depend on Google kasi gumagana yung mental nila, yung isip nila in writing, right? And then the third one is peer or collaborative writing. We may assign them a peer editing partner or group them in writing activity that requires investigation or research with assigned rules like lead researcher, assistant researcher, and documenter. So with this, pwede tayo magkaroon ng in teaching writing, right? We will going to give them by pair activities or by group activities wherein nai-enhance doon yung skills nila kasi we will going to give them an activity na kailangan ng investigation or a research, di ba? And then magkakaroon sila ng every one of them has their own rules. Like the first one is the lead researcher, and then the second one is the assistant researcher, and then meron silang documenter, meron silang writer, meron silang mga investigator, right? So because of this is na-i-enhance yung skills nila dito, not just by writing but also by giving each opinion with each other, right? And then the fourth one is utilization of technology support. The editing features of word processors are beneficial for both students and teachers in monitoring linguistic accuracy. Social networks can be opportunity for learners to have authentic readers and write interactively. So we have a lot of website na ngayon na pwede doon mo i-upload yung mga videos mo. What I mean your writings, right? And also, nang dahil doon is nagkakaroon tayo ng mga authentic readers na kung saan is pwede silang mag-give ng kanilang opinion regarding to it, and also mababasa nila whatever the writings that you will going to write in that certain website, di ba? Meron na ngayon, we are in a 21st century ngayon. So, technology is really one of the important thing na. Pwede na tayong magsulat doon sa internet. We can share it with anyone na. Pwede ng iba't iba yung makakakita ng ganun. Right? Hindi na lang tayo. We have a lot of way na ngayon kung paano natin ma-share the writing that we make. So that is the end of my report. I will going to give the second reporter.
Scaffolding process that allows teachers to organize a writing activity systematically to meet the needs of all students. Teaching planning in writing. We can help our learners have a pleasant experience. They need assistance in choosing the topic they have chosen, finding focus and support to the claims they make in making their voice visible in their writing. But among these stages, it is important to motivate learners to write through the scaffolds that we provide. So planning refers to the use of a deliberate and organized approach to tackling a writing task and includes a writer's first thought or basic ideas about the topic, and the planning approach spend a lot of time on different types of planning before you begin writing. So, pre-writing activities helps learners generate ideas. These include free writing, questioning, and listing. So, pre-writing is the first stage of writing process. Pre-writing activities are important in the writing process. You will be able to write good sentences when you do pre-writing activities. There are various ways on how pre-writing activities may be done. This may include the use of speech balloons, pictures, prompts, and graphic organizer. Free writing is writing without restrictions, writing down everything that comes to mind or feelings about the topic, and about the act of writing itself. Free writing is the practice of writing down all your thoughts without stopping and without regard for spelling, grammar, or any of the usual. It is like a free will to write without specific structural rules or intentions. So we have an example here. I've been a mother of 10 wonderful years. I've learned what love is from my daughter, but I also learned true fear in pain is a roller coaster ride full of fun, laughter, and at times tears. I love spending time with my daughter, and I am grateful every day for her presence in my life. She makes our family whole, and I am the luckiest person to be fortunate to through his life with her. Questioning is similar to brainstorming and is one of the easiest ways to generate ideas for writing because it is like talking to oneself or finding answer to your question. For instance, you can ask them to write about the reason for taking up their course using the 5 Ws and H is as their guide in planning their essays. So it is a strategy that engages students actively with the text like who, what, where, when, why, and how. So we have examples here. Why did you choose this course? Did I choose this myself? Or did someone influence me to take this up? What benefits do I get from taking up this course? What career opportunities does this course offer? So, next is clustering. This means collecting or grouping together ideas related to our chosen topic. So, clustering, it is a strategy that allows you to explore the relationship between ideas, and clustering is also a type of pre-writing that allows writer to explore many ideas, and it is a cluster or map combines the two stages of brainstorming, recording ideas, and then grouping them into one. For example, if a writer were writing a paper about the value of a college education, they might choose the word expectations and write that word in the middle of the sheet of paper. Making a list. This technique can help in choosing topic and narrowing the focus by simply listing all relevant ideas without worrying about the order of importance. So listing, it is a process of producing a lot of information within a short time by generating some broad ideas and then building those associations for more detail. So we have examples here. Computer can help me in my research assignment, legitimate sites, online journals for the scholarly written article, be careful with those plagiarized articles, easy storage of information right as your search citation of sources is easy. So RAF. RAF is a writing strategy that helps students understand the rules as writers. The audience, they will address the varied formats for writing. So the purpose of RAF is to give students a fresh way to think about approaching their writing. So organize your story using www, what equals to, how equals to. It is a POW, pick an idea, organize rules, write and say, more and it allow students to help in establishing goals, and students will need less help as time goes on from the teacher by using www, what equals to, how equals to. So crew is a style of argumentation that breaks arguments down into six components: parts, claim, grounds, warrant, qualifier, rebuttal, and backing in. Tolman's method, every argument begins with three fundamental parts: the claim, the grounds, and the warrant. So claim, it is the conclusion of argument being made. Grounds, it is data and facts offered to support the claim. Warrant, logically connect the grounds to the claim. Backing, support the warrant. Qualifiers, make a statement about the strength of the claim. Rebuttal, exception to the claim.
Stop in there. This planning model by De La Paz and Graham, as cited in Graham and Harris 2007, is useful for persuasive and argumentative writing. The acronym stands for Suspend Judgment. Suspend judgment develop in the learner's reflective writing to avoid sweeping generalization or claims that have no clear grounding. take a side. Students need to take a clear stand on an issue so that they can produce a unified rather and coherent arguments. This is one of the way of making their voice visible in the written output. Organized ideas, carefully structured claims supported by cohesive and coherent evidence result in effective and persuasive arguments. Plant more as you write. Writing or recursive process so that planning happens not only in the beginning but in the entire writing activity. Develop a topic sentence or a thesis statement. The topic sentence or a paragraph or the thesis statement of an essay is one of the unifying elements of writing. It helps the writers stay focused in the topic. Add supporting ideas. Supporting ideas strengthen the position writers take. Learners need to understand that supporting ideas bring their position or claim to life. Reject arguments. From the other side, in taking a position on an issue, a writer should be aware of the opposing arguments so that they can be rightfully refused this. End with a conclusion. Clear and empathic closing or conclusion persuades the readers to think and feel embrace the position of the writer. The 5-paragraph essay. This strategy is useful in teaching genres writing or writing for learning. This template includes the introductory paragraph, which introduces the topic and the thesis statement. The second, third, and fourth paragraph develop the key ideas articulated in the thesis statement. The fifth or concluding paragraph clinches the discussion either by summarizing or reiterating the thesis statement. Cinquain, sometimes called a diamond poem. A cinquain is a poetic genre created by Adelaide Cropsey. The didactic cinquain form's variation has become a creative strategy for writing poems with the following formula for poetry writing. Variation 1. The first line is one word, which is the title of the poem. The second line contains two words, which are adjectives that describe the title. The third line has the three words, usually gerund, that tells the reader more about the subject of the poem or show actions. The fourth line has individual words or four words, praise, that show emotion about the subject of the poem. The fifth is one-word synonyms or very similar word to the title. Example, Castle by William Swink. Castle strong, beautiful, imposing, protecting, watching, symbolizes wealth and power, fortress. List poem. This creative writing activity asks learner to list down an inventory of person, places, object, or ideas. It incites students to write strong or funny description of the things they are passionate about. So the example of this is under the definition of it. Writing prompts. Along with the strategies, the teacher can also motivate the learner to write by giving clear writing prompts. A prompt is anything that moves the students to write. It can be incomplete statement as a story starter like, I never thought I'll survive, or question like, what are the benefits of urban living, or thoughts-provoking triggers like image, quote, or songs. Wolfgang 2015 offered two types of writing, prompts, infinite, which can be answered in multiple ways, and finite, which requires a direct or straightforward response. Good morning to everyone. So my topic for today is all about the stop and there. So stop and there, this is one of the best way for persuasive arguments genre. The stop and there is designed to help students develop a writing plan and think about the details that should be included in persuasive writing, typically in persuasive or essay writing. So stop it is a strategy designed to help students to pick their side and organize their reason. Also, ask you to suspend judgment and brainstorm. Take a side and organize idea and plant as we write. That is stop. Okay, there. This is a strategy designed to remind that students is included all of the components in persuasive essay. They're also asked you or asked us to develop a thesis and supporting ideas, reject arguments for the other side, and with a conclusion. So that is the stop in there. Okay, let's proceed in acronym for stop in there. S stands for suspend judgment. S again stands for suspend judgment. So, suspend judgment, we must consider each side before taking a position in order for us not to have a clear grounding list. Also, the point for both side of the arguments, considered all possible side. Okay, naintindihan ba? The second acronym for stop is T stands for take a side. So take a side, read the list of the point for both sides and determine which side you believe in, or more persuasive to you or more persuasive to us, and decide which side are we going to believe in, or side can we use to make us strong, to make our arguments strongest. So that is take a side. The third one is organize ideas. So, in organized ideas, so here we must choose an ideas that are strong enough, and we need to decide how to organize them for writing. 'Di ba? Kapag nag-organize tayo ng idea, make sure na it is strong enough, no? Para kapag nagano sa atin yung ating mga, for example, in debate, 'di ba? You need to defend your own kapag may binigay sa iyo na yung teacher mo, you need to defend it, 'di ba? You need to search some ideas na makakaano doon sa kalaban mo, na dapat strong ito, na hindi kanya matawag nito na kumbaga sa Ilonggo pa, hindi kanya malapawan sa imo nga ideas. You need to search or you need to look a strongest idea for your for example in our debate, 'di ba? Naintindihan ba yung organized idea? Okay, let's proceed to the fourth acronym of STOP. So the fourth acronym of STOP is P, which stands for plant. So here in plant, more as you write, you need to continue planning as we write and use the DARE strategy as you proceed with writing. The 5-paragraph essay. Okay, when we say paragraph, it is very important because it plays an important role in writing because they provide a framework for organizing your ideas in order. Para naka-inline siya yung mga ideas natin. Using clear structure for your paragraph helps guide the reader through a written works. So the 5-paragraph essay format is most common essay a student can face or yung makikita natin or na-encounter natin na mga paragraphs. So the name result from the 5-paragraph structure: 1 introduction paragraph, structure, 3 bodies paragraph, and a final paragraph to conclude. Yung last na, yung sa conclusion na. Okay. Syncane. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but I think it is a syncane. Just correct me if I am wrong. So syncane are just 5 lines long with only few words on each line, making them easy to write. So madali lang siyang isulat, no? The first and the last line have just 2 syllables or syllables, while the middle line have more, so that end up with a diamond-like shape similar to poetic form called the diamante. So that is syncane. Naiintindihan ba? Okay, list point. So a list point features in an inventory of people, place, things, or ideas organized in a special way. So the title says what the list is about
it does not necessarily need to include a rhythm or rhyme, but the word should be careful chosen and memorable. So here in list point, it is not needed. Hindi talaga siya needed. Kapag gagawa kayo ng poem, it's not necessarily na magkakatugma siya or there is a rhythm in your sentence. No, hindi ganun yung list poem. Hindi siya necessary na kailangan talaga na naka-rhyme yung mga words nyo kapag gumagawa kayo ng poem. Yun po yung, yung tinatawag natin na list poem. Naiintindihan ba? Do you understand? What is list poem? Okay. Writing prompts. So a prompt is consists of 1 to 3 sentences raising an issue or asking a question that you will have the answer or response to in essay. Most prompts are given by a teacher as part of time exam or as essay prompt for an assignment.